Okay, at this time, I'd like to call to order the Workforce Housing Advisory Board meeting for this May 29th. And at this time, we'd like to do a roll call, please.
Nathan Thomas.
Present.
James Russ.
Here.
Charles Meeks.
Charles, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, I'm here. Just can't see anybody.
Okay. Roll call.
And Deborah Downs.
Here.
Okay, at this time, do we have any conflicts of interest that need to be declared? If not, moving along. At this time, can we get the certification of compliance with resolution 2025-01?
This meeting was certified in compliance with resolution 2025-01.
Okay, perfect. And let's see, all advisory board members have received a copy of the agenda. At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve said agenda.
So moved.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Okay, and let's have a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, aye. The agenda carries and approved. Along with that, we have the minutes from the last meeting, which was, I'm not sure, March 27th. Has everybody had an opportunity to review the meeting minutes? Do we have any discussion on that, any amendments? If not, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Okay, first and second, minutes are approved for March 27th. Opening up with new business, if we can go ahead and get an update from the VOR Property Management Company.
Okay, so I know some of you, and some of you might not know, but my name is Kylie Berry. I'm with Berkshire Hathaway, and we are currently managing the workforce housing. So we have been running at pretty well 100% occupancy on the current 18 units, and we currently have a wait list of just over 40 for the 10 units that are getting ready to come available.
Wow.
So there's a great need for this, and it's well received with the tenants. There's been some questions and concerns as far as our processes and how all of that is working. And so we're operating on a first come, first served basis. So when the wait list was opened, first in, first name, so on until it continues. When the applications open up for that property, once we have a finalized completion date for the project, we'll start at the top, release 10, contact the first 10 at a time and release applications to them, give them a week to submit applications, and then move on to the next 10 until we're full. And then the rest will be retained for waitlist or if any additional vacancies come available at Meacham Meadows. And then there was some concerns about who's qualifying, who's living there. It's all local workforce. There might be people that have moved here from out of town, but they have had jobs in place in the area to move in. So it's all been traditional qualifications, credit checks, background checks, employment checks, income checks, landlord or proof of past home ownership. We've had very few delinquencies. There's been a couple. We've worked with all of them to get them caught up. We haven't had to evict anybody yet. There's been several tenants that have had notices go out to them for non-compliance issues. They've all corrected them pretty well immediately. I know one ongoing concern that I did discuss with Levi when we walked the property the other day was storage. That's always been an ongoing issue over there at Meacham Meadows. There's not any outdoor storage for any of them. So yard tools, kids' bikes, anything like that have no choice but to lean up against the side of the house, put under the deck, something like that. So I know that was something that Levi was going to try and come up with and think about. Going forward, our company does have a new project that we're working on that we're getting ready to release. And we are interested in possibly soft releasing it with workforce housing and the new development that's coming out, the 603 Meacham. And what it is, it's a pathway to homeownership educational program. And so what it is from the beginning, we're one of the only property management companies that reports to credit. So we're immediately building their credit as they move in. And then we're pairing them with somebody that can start working with them on financial literacy, helping them figure out their plan. How long is it going to take to move into home ownership? Is it 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever that plan is, have somebody along the way following up with them step by step to get them to that process. So many people nowadays don't see homeownership as something attainable. They see a price tag and think there's no way I can afford that. But the reality is there's possible ways to get to that. And so we thought pairing it with workforce housing was a great opportunity because ultimately it's to strengthen the community and provide housing for the community. So that's something that we're working on. I was hoping to have flyers and an FAQ for you guys today, but our social media girl didn't get that done yet. So, but that is something that we have on the plans as soon as that project is going. So, and then from there, we'll start opening it up to more and more. So,
That's awesome.
yeah. So.
Very exciting. Well, thank you. That was a lot of information
Yeah,
for sure.
sorry.
So, but no, you touched on it, but it sounds like there's been no major incidences with compliance or with any tenants as far as,
No.
it's a good result. I know we had a lot of concerns opening up that we'd have a lot of problems and, incidences or what have you, but it sounds like that's been very minimal, so.
Yeah, and as soon
That's
as we've
great.
been made aware of concerns, we've been out there immediately. A few of the concerns that have come up in the past several years have been, or 2 years or so of that project, have been issues with trash, and we determined, and I know there's several people from the village that were working on that, but it was blowing out from Dollar General. They weren't closing their trash, bailing things up properly. Tenants were having to pick it up as they saw it. Another issue that arose was pet waste. Well, when we went out to walk the area of the links right behind it, here comes two people walking their dogs off leash going to the bathroom right there. So now that the fence is there, it's greatly reduced. So that's helped the situation a lot. Other issues have been just things about just storage, like we talked about, things. They're trying their best to store things properly, and sometimes they don't store them properly. Every time it's just been a simple, hey, you need to make this correction, and it's done immediately. So we haven't had any major issues as far as that goes.
That's great.
Yeah. Good. So.
That's wonderful. And how long have we been actually at full occupancy?
Nearly 2 years.
That's what I was thinking.
The end
So
of June is 2 years.
That's a pretty good success rate.
Yeah.
Over 2 years. I can't think of any
Yeah.
development that's had that kind of success,
Yeah.
as far as management concerns from your side, so that's
Yeah.
exciting. So, you guys, any additional commentary, questions?
No.
We've had 4 turnovers in 2 years. on
4
units.
turnovers. Wow.
And the longest vacancy was 30 days, and it was just waiting for that approved applicant to move in.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
Very good.
Okay.
so,
Well, thank you so much for your time and your update, and we appreciate everything you're doing for this.
not a problem.
Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Okay, so I guess, Alex, we'll get some updates on some of these other properties, starting with 603 Meacham.
Sure thing. So I was just looking over the minutes from last time, and there is progress to report from that. So the latest thing that's happening out there is the current work is PNM is finally out there to get the electric there. We're probably another 3 weeks from that being done. The next steps to wrap things up will be landscaping and fencing. And there's also the need to place some water meters, from what I understand, out there. So we still don't have yet a move-in date for folks. I'm not even going to try to hedge to see when that will be, because we've had so many things that kind of were that with this project that has caused delay and moving timelines in there. So we are scheduled for 3 o'clock to go out and do a tour of a couple of those units. Fingers crossed. This rain will not make it a mud pit over there, but if it does, we're right at the front, so it should be pretty decent for getting us in and out of there. I just also made a note for myself. We will be developing probably using as a template some community rules for 603 Meacham as well, to make sure that we have, if there is anything that comes as a need, at least we have a policy in place to address those things with that. So that is where we are with 603 Meacham. You can also, if you've driven by there, you'll see the storage units for those when Kylie had mentioned storage. Those are on all placed on for each of those units as well. Let me see if there's anything else on my notes from, nope, no, oh, yes, there is. The driveway connection between Meacham and 603 will need to be widened. That is also scheduled to start in the next few weeks as well, because we believe that the heavy equipment that's going to be moving in and out is there. And so that will also be taking place so that there will be full access.
Oh, that's
to the
great
site.
news.
Yeah.
So at this time, what's your projected, that's always a loaded question, but are you thinking 30 days, 60 days?
I would probably put it about 45 days
Yeah.
would be my best guess. That'll be after July 4th
Okay.
is when we'll have things done there.
So we're probably targeting like maybe August 1st is move-in.
Might be, yeah, in that
Something like that.
mid-July to
Mid-July.
August 1st, yeah.
Okay.
One of the things that, from the weekly meetings that we have with both White Sands, the contractor, and then also HomeSpot, when the power gets turned on, HomeSpot will notice a whole bunch of things that they hadn't seen in there that they're going to want to take care of. So that will also have a bit of an impact upon the timeline in there, but it will result in when the property turnover happens, that everyone will be more happy with the condition of the units. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Because, if you don't have the full lights on, you can't necessarily see all the little details.
See the punch list.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Any other questions on 603 Meacham, guys?
No.
Okay. Thank you, Alex.
This is Charles. I just have a quick question. Are you still doing underground electric with P&M?
Yes. I don't know the full specifics on that because there was mention that there are some poles that need to be replaced. So my assumption is that those I'll get the details and get that back to the committee for certain, but those may be poles that are already on Meacham that need to be replaced anyway for the existing power. But they are trenching for the electric out there.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was driving by
Yeah, I
the
was driving by the hour ago, and I
saw
saw a couple trucks with the poles that are turning in there. So I thought it's going to be underground, but.
Thanks.
Yeah, I will confirm the specifics with that.
Hey, Charles, do you have two mics going?
I could be.
Okay. No worries. We're getting some heavy feedback. You're talking to us twice, it sounds like.
I work twice as hard.
There you go. That sounds a little cleaner. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Perfect. Okay, so I guess moving on to Elk Meadows.
Elk Meadows, I'm sure you've all noticed that they are officially under construction out there. Let me hand around the photo.
Hello?
We can still hear you, Charles.
So they have cleared the site of trees. They are working on the foundations, the pads for the buildings out there. Knock wood, they've not discovered anything yet to hold them up. So they are making their progress there as well.
That's great. They moved pretty quick on that once they started breaking ground, so that's good.
Yes, indeed, because you would know much better than I would how long they've been trying to get this project going, and with getting the capital stack all stacked up in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Right.
And the right approvals. And so they, once they got that going, they got going.
So you said
Yeah.
they're working on the foundations now, or?
They're working on the pads for where the
Pads,
buildings are going to go with that. They also have all of their subcontractors, with the exception of their utility subcontractor, but they do believe that they've got that coming into place as well, so.
Good. Wonderful. Okay, so I guess moving along to 1114 Meacham.
The big update there would be that there is now the fence between them and the golf course. They are also going to be moving with putting in some slats into that fence as well to create a more opaque barrier
Yeah.
for both sides. With that, there was also one of the trailers had some unusual settling issues that have been identified and working toward getting a solution in place to give it more of a stable base as well.
Now, when we say that, is that on us, or was that just the setting of the company, or we just don't know?
I don't know if anybody has yet tried to come up with what the cause might necessarily be.
But we were able to fix it without.
It's getting, it is getting fixed. Yeah.
Were they going to, I think at one point you said something about paving that area, the drives, or are they still just gonna?
There's still, I think that's still out to, under question of whether they're going to do that. With 603 Meacham, the plan is right now to use the millings for that. I'll get more clarification if we're gonna do additional paving over at Meacham or not, because I think there have been some, what's the word I'm looking for? Issues with water and moisture and drainage might be the word, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or commentary, guys, on these location updates? No? Okay, so moving right along to our update on the strategic plan.
Did we get it, Christie, did we get an update on the strategic plan? I think the answer is on that. So you did do some strategic planning, but never finalized that. Is that kind of everybody's recollection?
Was that the workshop?
The workshop, that was
With
probably
the colorful
what?
tabs?
Yeah,
Their portion of it
Yeah.
was done, our portion.
our portion has not been done. Okay, so we've got to do our portion. Okay,
In
we've got to do our
progress.
portion
I like
on,
that word.
I guess, compiling and coming up with a consensus. Yep, in that. So we will look to be doing that sometime this calendar year to bring that back for some completion, because as 603 Meacham wraps up, Elk Meadows under construction, it seems the time is right to figure out what next, right?
Okay, wonderful. So does the comprehensive plan kind of coincide with our strategic plan, or is our comprehensive plan?
So the update on the comprehensive plan, that is the village long-range strategic plan. There is an RFQ, request for qualifications, currently out for our 5-year update, which is a year behind. It was 2019 was the last update. That RFQ, we seem to have gotten good response, at least from the drawdowns and the people that are looking at it. The actual responses are not going to be coming back our way for another 4 weeks yet on that, because I'm not sure how long the Site Southwest, the consultant, I'm not sure how many iterations they had done, but there was a decision to make to explore other options, and so that's what we're doing with that. The comprehensive plan really is a document that sets forth a vision for what the village is, what the village is about, what the village is looking to be. And as part of that, then creating a framework for how all the different elements that go into making up a village, which would include housing in general, but more specifically workforce housing, how that makes the economy work. And so that will be, the intention is that we will take documentation that we have now, incorporate that in there, and then identify additional needs that we may need to do into the future. So your question about the strategic plan is very much so, that will feed into the comprehensive plan.
Okay, wonderful. So
Yeah.
both in progress.
Both in progress.
I like that.
So we are looking to award a contract for whatever consultant or consultants that score out the highest. That would be awarded at the August Village Council meeting with an anticipated public kickoff in October, I think is where we're looking to go. And then probably one of the components we left up to them in their submittal would be a timeline and a public participation process on that. And so the timeline we're kind of thinking for this update would be somewhere between 8 and 18 months to complete in there, because at the staff level, we're kind of looking at this being, it is not the complete planning process on there. It really is the visioning and setting a table of contents for what needs to follow up on that. And so it is going to be an ongoing process that it's not just going to be that we update it every 5 years and then forget about it as well.
Good.
Yeah, so we're, yeah.
Exciting stuff coming down the road, huh? Like that, okay. I think just a couple of follow-up questions really quick on some of these updates or our projects. And first of all, I mean, just kind of in line with our strategic, plan. I mean, we set out many years ago, I don't even know, 12, 15,
Right.
whatever it's been.
The end of the mountain gods.
And I'll have to say, almost nothing was accomplished. And in the last really 3 years, it's nice to actually be talking about site developments and actually seeing projects come to fruition versus just continual efforts of, working towards something and then just being shut down. So I think the energy from our side and our, this advisory board has been very optimistic and positive that we're finally feeling we're a part of something that we set out to accomplish. And so I applaud you guys in helping us kind of push that forward, and the council and the mayor just, as we were just told, the need is still great in this community. Our work's not done, but just the fact that we have any projects or properties to even consider touring is very good in my mind. So excited about that. Just to follow up on that, I know that there was community concerns about us exceeding our budgets on some of these, projects. Are we still kind of within our operating guidelines of what we projected? I mean, we haven't just blown it by 40% or something. I mean, we're in line, right?
I'm not exactly aware where the budgeting started and where it is right now, but no one's told me that we are out of money in there. And that did also remind me that we did have our first meeting for the ICIP, the Infrastructure Capital Improvement Plan, of which that is where we get money to do stuff, and workforce housing is a big component on that. And as of now, I think it's still going to remain the number one priority for funding that the village is seeking from our partners with the state as well. So we have another meeting scheduled on that for June 9th. It'll be at the convention center, and then the council will take that input that we get from the public and also from the various village departments, and the council will act on that at their July meeting. And then we'll submit it to the state, and we will hope that, yes, exactly, hope that we get some of these things funded. I should say continue to get these things funded, because they are, the state has been a pretty good partner.
Yeah, we've seen a real turnabout there, so that's exciting to have that partnership as well.
Yeah.
And then I guess just the last piece of business on my side, and we briefly mentioned, I just want to, I think, revisit this, but as community members, potentially approach the advisory board about identifying properties, I believe the protocol is to advise those individuals to contact yourself or the village direct, present their property, and see if it meets the parameters or the guidelines that are being set forth by the village council and the mayor of what is being identified to bring to our committee. Is that pretty much correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we did inform a community member of that. To go ahead and reach out to you, Mr. Gomez contacted us about a potential property he has. We responded accordingly of saying, reach out to Alex, gather the information. That way we're not really setting parameters for community members of what would be or would not is acceptable.
Right. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay. Excellent. Charles, any other additional commentary on some of those updates?
Yeah, just one question. With my experience with the mobile homes like that, after they set everything and then later on another company comes in and puts the air conditioning units in, is that the same case here? You have to put pads and stuff down, or is it all included?
You're speaking of 603 Meacham?
Yes.
I do recall some conversation around, yes, that it is something that is a separate contractor that was doing that, yeah.
Yeah, do you know if we picked one yet or still looking or?
I will follow up on, I would assume that we have, but I will follow up to see if we have what we are doing with that.
Okay, the only reason is it was a little difficult for me for a while to get some, but I finally got it through, so I was just wondering if you had somebody already, but thanks.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Perfect. Thank you, Charles. Okay, so next up on item here is speaking of the tour of 603 Meacham after adjournment. Yeah, I'm not sure what your thoughts are, Alex. I know it's gonna be an absolute mud pit over there right now. I don't know if we want to still try to do this or if we want to maybe push this back.
Let's do our adjournment and I'll check in with our project manager and see what he feels.
I'm watching it pull up on the concrete, and I'm like,
I
well,
know.
now I
It
know
might
what it's
be
doing to
a
the mud over there. I didn't bring my galoshes today, I'm not gonna lie. But guys, if we don't have any further discussion, I think with that, I'll go ahead and move to adjourn this meeting, and thank you, everybody, for your attendance.
Thank you.
All right, meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.
Good deal.
Yeah, it might be a mess out there. If they got rain
Yeah.
here.